A UN report seeking an International Criminal Court investigation into Sri Lanka is being discussed today at a meeting in Geneva. The report by the UN's top human rights official Michelle Bachelet also calls for sanctions against top Sri Lankan officials accused of war crimes. The report accuses the government of Sri Lankan President Gotabaya Rajapaksa of clamping down on democracy in the country and not bringing to book people responsible for rights violations during Sri Lanka's decades-long civil war. For 26 years, Tamil separatists battled the Sri Lankan government for a separate state. The war ended in 2009 with the defeat of the rebels. But it also left significant casualties among the civilian population. For many of the Tamils who lost loved ones, the search for accountability has made little progress.
This is the number of days these mothers have been protesting. For 4 years, they've stood on the side of the road in the town of Vavayunia in the north of Sri Lanka. The women want to know where their children and husbands are. They've been missing since the end of the civil war in 2009. Jayawanita Kasipalai has also been here every day for 4 years. She's looking for her daughter. We need each other. My suffering is also felt by these other mothers. Because of that, I keep on fighting, not only for my child, but for all the children and husbands who went missing. We have to find out what happened to our children. All these mothers believe that their children and loved ones will return. They can't lose their hope. The 52-year-old says she recognized her daughter in this photo from 2015. It apparently shows the girl standing next to former Sri Lankan President Maithripala Sirisena. Seeing the photo spurred her to initiate the mother's protest. The family belongs to the Tamil minority. During the last days of the civil war, they were forced to leave their home and were taken to a camp run by Sri Lanka's secret service and interrogated. On the way, Jayawanita Kasipalai says her daughter was kidnapped. By whom is unclear. Shortly before the end of the civil war in 2009, the Sri Lankan army combed Tamil territory. The soldiers were looking for fighters from the Tamil Tiger Liberation Organization, or LTTE, who were fighting for independence. According to the UN, both warring parties committed serious war crimes. Up to 15,000 Tamils are officially missing, though the United Nations believes the number to be much higher. It has been impossible for this family to find peace since their eldest child disappeared. They've been to the police time and again, and even called on the UN Refugee Agency and the UN Human Rights Commission to get involved, but in vain. It's very difficult now that my wife stays in Vanuvania at the protest site. But I'm with her in thought all the time. And I keep telling my wife to bring our daughter home. I'm convinced that my daughter is still alive. Protests by Sri Lanka's Tamils are growing. Thousands took to the streets for 3 days in early February, demanding the government clarify what happened to the countless missing. Sri Lanka's current president, Gotabaya Rajapaksa, declared all missing persons deceased in 2020, including the daughter of Jayawanita Kasipalai. Rajapaksa was the defense minister during the civil war. The UN Commissioner for Human Rights lays the blame for alleged atrocities committed during that war on Rajapaksa's current army chief. The women simply want to know what happened to their children. So far, no Sri Lankan government has offered to help them.